Yes, I can. Good evening. Well, all right. Hi. Work was okay. You're also streaming live on YouTube, right? Hi. Work was okay.
Yeah, hi. Hi, can you hear me? Yeah, good evening. Okay, it's live on YouTube now, but the video is not. Yeah, it's live on YouTube now, but it's I guess it's just the voice. Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah, it is. Okay, it's live on YouTube now, but the video is not. Yeah, the voices are out. Voices are out. It's just the screen. Oh yeah, the screen is out too. So yeah, I guess it's working fine. Yeah. Okay. Shall I start now? I'm waiting for others. I mean, how many more? How many more are joining? Hi, Pego. Hi, Pego. Can you hear me, please?
Yes, I can. Good evening.
Yeah. Good evening. How are you doing?
I'm fine.
Oh, cool. Okay. I guess we'll just start now, and while we wait for others to join. Do you have like any knowledge on illustrations, or and do you work in the design field?
Me?
Yeah,
Yes, actually an illustrator and I work in the design field too.
wow, that's dope. That's dope. All right. Let me just go ahead and share my screen. So let me know if you can see my screen. Can anyone see my screen? Can you see my screen, please? The presentation, the PowerPoint. All right, all right. So I just want to officially welcome you all to Illustrate with MG. It'll be a 2-day class today and tomorrow from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. And I'll be taking you through the basics on how to go about illustrating, learn about the software, my workflow, and the basics that you need to know to get started. So today we'll be talking just a bit of introduction about me. We'll go through the gallery of my works. We also meet other creators and illustrators in the field. Then I have a little bit of beginner's guide for how to illustrate. Then we'll start illustrating. And yeah, we'll close up there. So a little bit about me. I'm a talented visual artist and illustrator. I love being dynamic in my work. Um, I design for brands and individuals, depending. And I like to capture a central idea of the brand or the individual when I'm creating my work. I bring ideas to life in my creative skills, and I always like to tell a story or per se have a meaning to my work. Apart from that, I'm also into robotic engineering. I finished a 9-month program on robotics design and automation with Rain at Ibadan. I have a background knowledge in technology, and I also love technology apart from illustrating and design. So these are some of my skills. Um, so my a basic definition of what illustration is about is an image that you try to get a person to look at or to pay attention to the subject than to the art. So whenever you are illustrating or you have an illustration, you're trying to make someone, understand what it means more than the subject. I mean, more than the art or the art form. Like you want the person to, feel it or per se, and understand the meaning of whatever you designed or illustrated. So it can be in the form of drawing, painting, photograph, or other work of art, based on stories. And we do this by using a digital software, laptop, and digital tools hand in hand. So this is a little bit of my gallery. These are a few of works I've done. Um, so this was the first one here with the lady, with her mouth open. It was construct a field on speaking the truth. Then this was Tiwa Savage. I did for a little cover also. Then this other one is for a competition, Bold. So they gave us a team called Bold Story and said we should create a work around it. This is another one, and this a few more of my work. This Bretty, this one I really love. I was trying to inculcate some African style to it and just bring out joy, the joy and happiness also. Then this one, Shine Like a Star, was an illustration mixed with typography at work. Then we have this, the crowned jewel, and then the sneakers design. This is a recent work I did for Eleva TV. It was both illustration and graphic design, so all merged together. So they are based in NY, so and they deal with creatives, and they're starting a program for creatives all around Africa. So this was an event they were hosting or they're about to host. It's not yet today. So this is a full illustration of them. So other illustrators in the field, we have Jade Purple Brown. I'll just take you right to our page. So this is our page. I mean, her work is on the official 2021 Illustrator, which is really dope. So I just love her style so much. I love the way she uses shapes, basic shapes to make her work come to life. Her color palette is also really dope. Her workflow, I mean, she has worked with a lot of brands, so it's an all experience for her. So whenever I like to illustrate, I always like to get inspiration from other artists. I like to study, do research, and improve step by step on it. So this is a few of our work. Then we also have Josephine Rice. Yeah, sorry about that. That went up for a while. Um, yes. So I was talking about other artists, other illustrators in the field. This is Josephine Rice. I love the use of her color. It always has this kind of feel to it. Like actually, I don't know. I don't know if it's only me or I just love her work so much. Can get what she's trying to do or illustrate in whatever way. The details too matter. Her details is very well done. Then another artist that I really, really like, me see it slots up. Yeah. Shutterbug. He's a Nigerian artist. His works are amazing. Totally phenomenal. I love his use of texture. Use of his texture and the the color palette he uses, and then the fact that he's Nigerian and African, and he used this out and he puts that in his work. It's just amazing. I mean, we have other artists. We have Solati, like we have Hello Solar. So just move on to the beginner's guide so we can get to illustrating. So first thing you need to do or know when you're illustrating, one of the first steps you need to take is getting the software. So you need to learn the digital software for illustration. Fego, please, what software do you use for your illustrations?
Adobe Illustrator.
Adobe
Just
Illustrator.
one. Yeah.
Oh, that's nice. All right. You need to learn a digital software. I for one, I use Adobe Illustrator. I mean, there are other softwares you can use. Yes, Procreate. I mean, you can also use Photoshop for illustrating. I just need to know the basics of other paper than for and you know illustrate it out. Then the last you need to practice and keep was able to build a stand for myself, and it helps you to get better and finally develop your own style and niche. So it can be based on your color scheme, your shape, your pattern, typography, visual layout, or workflow, whatever it is. When you keep practicing, you at the end of the day you'll be able to discover exactly what you like and what you want to keep working on doing. So these are like this is my social media, and you can just check for a design with MJ. So I'm going to open up Illustrator now. So these are the Illustrator. For those who don't have the software, you may need to download it. I'll drop a link where you can get it. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So I just dropped the link in the chit chat, so you can just grab it and paste on your browser. That's where you download the software from. If you have any question along the way, just let me know. I'll be sure to answer. So this is Adobe Illustrator. This Alright. Okay. So as I was saying, for when I illustrate, I normally use 16 by 20 inches for my size. Um, you can always change the file size also here, and then the file type can be in pixels, can be in centimeters, whatever you're trying to work with. I normally use inches and pixels to work. Then we have the orientation mode. Based on what you're doing, the first one is portrait, the second one is landscape. So I'm using the portrait view. Then we have the color mode. Now this is where your knowledge of print and web comes into place. So if you're doing the design for web, use RGB color mode, and we always use 72 resolution for PPI. But if you're printing it, use CMYK color mode. RGB is just red, green, blue. CMYK is cyan, magenta, yellow, and black. But for now, we'll be using RGB. So on this screen, this is where you give the title of your work. You can give it a title now or when you're saving later. So once you're done with that, you can hit create and it just opens up the entire workspace. All right. So this is the document we created just now. Okay, I'm just going to explain the interface for you because it may look a little bit confusing for those who don't use Illustrator. Um,
Um,
this side
this
is
side is
called the
called the
tools
tools
bar
bar,
or the tool
the tool
menu. This is
menu.
where
This
you
is where you
have
have
your
your
go-to
go-to
tools to
tools to
work
work
with.
with.
We'll go
We'll
over.
go over some of the basic tools that we'll be using to illustrate because we can't just go over everything. That'll take a long while. Then
Sorry, my network keep going on and off. Um, so I was talking about the panels. So this is where we have like extra tools to work with here. So I mostly work with the layers panel. So my workspace it may look a little bit different than your own if you are using Illustrator for the first time, because I mean I've set it how I like it. But I normally go for essential classics. So if you want to use that, be sure, because we have other workspace. When you go to Windows and then workspace, we have essentials. The workspace is based on what you're trying to do or achieve, but I always go for essential classic. So
And
sorry about that. Okay. Okay. So I don't know. When did you guys stop out? Like before I went off. Um. So I guess I was talking about the direct section too. Um. It's used for selecting anchor points to manipulate. Then we have the pen tool. Like I said, we have like a whole different course about the pen tool in Illustrator because of how complicated it is. But if you want to use it, you just click one point, connect to another point. That's how basic. That's how you can work with it. You can create shapes with it. You can also curve it by dragging when you're on the second point. So when I illustrate, I mostly work with the pen tool and the pencil tool. I guess I'll just get into Illustrator, and then along the way I'll just explain a few things and all. To start with, you have to you have to source for an image you're trying to illustrate. Even though I already have one, I'll just take you guys through the process on how I do mine sometimes. So I go on Pinterest, yeah, to get an image to work with. Oh, I have no idea what is wrong with the network. Because since it's not working out, I'll just source for an image. If you want to place an image in Illustrator, you go to File, then Place. Then I'll search for the image wherever it's located. So mine is in Inspo. Yep. Yeah, this is the image I'll be working with. Click on Place. Then okay, so in the process of searching for an image, so just loading quickly. And boom. Okay. So this is Pinterest. I mean, I'm sure a lot of you know about it. So normally I already have a lot of pins here to select from. Whatever image I pick, I like to build up on it before downloading also. So whatever catches my eye is what I go for. Let's go back to my page. Yeah, like something like this now, or this. So whatever I like, I take it and I download it right off. But for today, we'll be working with another image I selected. So if you want to place a file in Illustrator, you go to File, Place, and you select the file. So whenever you're placing it, you just drag it over the artboard. Either way. And if you're trying to scale an image and you don't want to distort it, hold down Shift on your keyboard to do that. Yeah. So this is the image we'll be working with. So if you can see the layers panel, all you have to do is click on this to lock it. So that way the image won't move about at all. Then I like to name my layers to be organized. So I'm just going to call this reference. And then I'll create a new layer on top when you go to this part. You can always add your own elements or style. But this is just like to break down. This is a breakdown of the process also. So knowing what you'll be drawing gives you, an idea of how many layers you'll be creating. So I have a layer for the base. I'll have one for the neck. I also have one for the clothes. Another for the hair. And another for the head too. Because as you can see, all right. So we also have to think about the arrangement. So the face is above the neck. The all right. So I lock everything except the face layer. Okay. Okay, can everyone see my screen? All right, all right. So this is for the face. Um, so I'm going to I'll start by, setting out the color palettes that I'll be using. So I just do this with regular shapes. I mean, anything that doesn't work, I always change it. So I have one for the face. So I normally use the face for reference for selecting the color that I'll use. And then I just go over to the color picker to adjust a few details. So for the highlight and the darker parts, then the main color I think about the main color for the whole illustrations, and that would be, let me use a light purple. Okay. So whatever doesn't work, I always change it. Or black. Point. Okay. So I guess I'm being disconnected. Okay. All right, go back up. Yeah. So let me just start from the top again. So I start from this particular point all the way to the second point, and I click and drag. So what I'm trying to do is just, get the basic outline of this shape. So whenever there's a curve, we draw a curve. Whenever there's a straight line, do a straight line. Yeah, so I'm just going to do this, and I'll select the base color, which is that. So looking at this, I would like to smooth out some rough corners. All right. So I'm done with the face for now. I'll lock that layer and then go over to the neck layer, unlock it to start drawing. So I'm just going to draw a straight line. Probably cover it a little here and then continue. For this, I like to select a darker version of the base color for the neck. Yeah, something like that. So I'm done with the deck for now. So block that layer. So I'm working with the hair now. I'll just hide this face and the neck layer so I can work better. Right. So I'll start with the hair. I'm using the pencil tool. If you hit N on your keyboard, it activates it automatically. I'm using the pencil tool, not the pen tool for this. So I'll start with like drawing over the image. When you're doing this, you like to paint details on what goes where. If you make a mistake in Illustrator, you hit Ctrl Z to go back. So that was wrong. Okay. Please, if you have any questions, be sure to ask. So yep, that's for the first part of the hair. So for the second part of the hair, unlock this and then start drawing. Right. So I'm just going to take this below. Yeah. So you can see it's taking form now. The next part is for the clothes. I'm going to hide the neck and the second hair. So I'm using the pencil for this, just to draw the basic shape. I'm using the pencil to adjust some parts, do some things freestyle. Okay. So now that I have my basic form done, I'll just close this off for a while and then go into details of some parts that didn't fit well. For example, the hair. I like to adjust this part properly. Yeah. Then this part too. What I'm doing now is adding a bit of my own style to it. Adjusting a few things that I like to see adjusted. All right. So I got that part well. Okay. This is all good for me. So what I'm going to do now is save the file so we don't lose our progress. So I'll go to file, then save. I already have a name. So you can select the folder where you want it to be. So done saving so I can continue. All right, does anyone have any questions so far? Okay. All right. So now what I'm going to do is start adding details, more details to the work. For example, the neck. I'm just going to right click. I'll go to edit first, copy, then go back to edit, paste in front. So what I just did is I copied the neck and I pasted it in the same place because I want to do something with it, with the one above it. So I want to add a shadow below. Right. Okay. So I've added a shadow for the neck below it. I'll move on to adding the facial details. So for that details, we have the eyebrows, the eyes, and the nose, then also the mouth. Mm, just going to add a little bit of style to the eyebrows. Okay, so that's for the eyelid. Our eyes aren't too open, so maybe a little bit complicated getting it done. This is stroke used for the eyelid. All this I'm using the pencil too. So just like drawing on a paper. So if you're working with it, it should be easier for you. So I'll do the same thing I did for the neck. I'll do copy and then paste in front. So I can add a bit of shadow to the corner of the eyes there. All right. I'll reduce the opacity down. Okay. So now I'll move to the nose. Now I like to use stroke to highlight the nose. So I'll be using this color, just follow it throughout. Then I'll use the smooth tool to smoothen out some rough edges. Okay. I'll do the same thing too for the corner here. Then for the nostril, then I'm drawing like the color shape for this, that part of the nose. I'll send it to the back. Then reduce the opacity all the way down. Then this is for the highlight, the lighter part of the nose. I also reduce the opacity. Then now I'll start focusing on the lips because, yeah. You can notice the lips is more like a love shape also. That helps. For now, I'll just go with that shape. I will use the smooth tool to smoothen out some parts, some rough parts. I'll switch between stroke and fill. Then now, just going to add the part for the teeth. Teeth white. Mm, okay. Let's redo the lip seal again because I don't really feel comfortable with it. Okay. I'll now start arranging them in their proper places. I'll bring this to the front and bring this whole one to the front too. Okay, that's much better. So I'll just bring back the face to see how it looks like. I'll adjust this so it matches with the face. Yeah. Or reduce the opacity of the tooth a little bit. Or better still, we'll change the color to a darker version. Right. Then I'll adjust this stroke too for the nose. So remember the outer layer that we did for this, just going to increase the opacity and then re-edit it. Right. Right. The next part is to add some details to the clothes. I'm going to copy and paste it in front like I did before. Just do this. So I'm using a darker, yeah, darker color of this. So now I can take off the reference, create a new layer for the background. Then select the rectangle tool, just draw the whole rectangle there. Select that color. Okay. So now I can start adding more details like I want. For example, the face. Okay. For example, the face. I'm just going to copy and paste, and then I edit a few things like this part. Firstly, I'll add detail under the lips. Yeah. Just adding my own personal details to it. Thank you. If you have questions, you can drop it in the chat or just say something. Okay. A hair. Let's add some details of the hair outside. Yeah. Yep. I'm changing some colors. I feel will work better. Add the highlight for the lips. I normally make it white and stroke. Yeah. And I reduce the plastic just to give it that glitch. Make this one bit brighter. Now reduce the stroke. All right. So now I think I can focus more on the clothes, whatever details I want to add. Right. Use a positive this a bit. Yeah. So now I want to work on the background. Yeah. Like some elements I want to add at the back. The back. Yep. So I'll select the brush tool. Then select the type of brush I'll be using. I'll be using the grunge brush. Yeah. Okay. So I'll just draw out some form. So what I'm doing now is I'm just playing around the board. I'm trying to see what works and what doesn't. So if this works for me, I'll leave it. If it doesn't, take it off. I kind of like the feel given it. So I'm thinking of adding more details to the hair. Okay. Make this a little bit brown. Adding more details to the eyes to see if I can highlight it more. Um, reduce the opacity of this. Yeah. Okay. Mm. Okay. We're wrapping up because I'm almost done. I like to add details to this. So just going to go to the general pattern. Yeah. Mm. Duplicating the artboard and stuff to like work with other colors. You know. Okay. You can see how changing the color can always like change a little bit of the feel or the results. Let's see. I'll add some details to this white hair because it will show more. Yeah, I just want to add a darker kind of ash color. Mm, Okay. Um. Then to edit that a little bit, probably just a color. Right. So now I'm just going to show how to export your image or file. So we just go to file, export, save for web. Like I'll leave it at that name and save it. I'll do the same one by selecting this and then just go to file, export. A way to export it, that's like exporting the both of them at once. You just go to export, export for screens. Yeah. So select artboards, the two artboard and export the artboard. So automatically it saves those two images in that folder. Okay. So let's see the final work. All right. The screen was actually down. So the both of them. I'll share this in the chat now. Okay. I also have free wallpapers that I'll be giving out. So I'll put that there. Um, and then okay. So does anyone have any question?
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you.
Okay. First of all, I'd like to say thank you for the class. It was quite an insightful one for me
You're welcome.
and
Thank you. Yeah.
interesting. Yes. So I'd like to ask, although I don't know whether you said this at the beginning, but the network was a bit somehow, so I didn't hear. How long have
Okay.
you been illustrating?
How long have I been what?
Illustrating.
I'll say 2 to 3 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So how long does it take you to finish like a piece of illustration that doesn't have maybe so much details?
Uh yeah. Oh. Oh. No problem. Um. Okay, you said that how you asked how long I've been illustrating, and I've been illustrating for 2 to 3 years now. Um, and what was the second question, please?
Okay. The second question is how long does it take you to finish like a piece of illustration, like your average time?
Okay.
Maybe a piece
Okay.
that is not so detailed like that.
Oh, okay. For a piece that's not too detailed, my average time to finish is about 1 hour, 30 minutes, give or take, depending if it's a photo or my sketch. So if it's my sketch, it's a little bit more faster for me. I can finish it in under less than an hour or so. Like that's like my average time. But if I'm doing more bulky work or you know things that have more details per se. Some take me up to like 8 hours. I've done one that took me 8 hours, on even another one that I took it to the next day to finish up. So it's just that broad and you know, that's it. Any other question?
Thank you. No,
Yeah,
thank you.
okay. Yeah, you're welcome. So yeah. Oh, okay. Thank you. Yeah, you're welcome. Yeah. So tomorrow same time. We'll just be doing an lab photo or a sketch, and then talking broader on the topic. Yeah. Yeah, tomorrow we'll be doing a sketch. I'll give out the sketch and we'll just work something out from it. So we'll be doing a sketch tomorrow. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, you too. Yeah. Have a nice day. Yeah. Bye. Good, yeah, good night. Bye, Kago.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah.